Are you struggling to stay warm as a raw vegan this winter? If that's the case, don't worry, because it happens to all of us. The nights come earlier, the air is chilly, and sometimes all you want is something warm to keep your spirits high and to keep your body warm as the winter settles in. But here is the truth: you can stay raw, you can thrive, and you can stay energized even through the darkest months of the year. So in this video, I'm going to show you what I do to keep my body warm, to keep my energy high, to keep my mood up throughout the winter months. And if you stay to the very end of this video, I will share with you the one simple shift that I made to really endure and to really enjoy the winter months as a raw vegan. Let's get into it. Welcome guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Akuj and we are here on the Raw Food Glow, where I teach you how to glow and thrive on your raw vegan journey and live the life you know you deserve. This is my third winter as a raw vegan. When I went raw vegan at the beginning of last year, so the 1st of January 2024, I was smack bang in the middle of the cold temperature. As you guys know, when you shift to a plant-based diet, you're not as hot as you were when you were consuming processed foods or animal products. But when you go to a raw vegan diet, now let me tell you, you get cold. It gets cold. I started my raw vegan journey freezing, let me tell you. I didn't know how I was going to survive. I did not know how I was going to survive. But look, fast forward almost 2 years later, I'm in my third winter and I'm still thriving. So that's exactly what I'm going to share with you guys in this video. All the tips, all the resources, just to keep you guys inspired and keep you believing that you can do it no matter the weather, no matter how cold it gets. If it gets minus 50, you can still be a raw vegan. So without further ado, let's start this video. So the first thing is you want to layer up. This is quite an obvious, clear, self-explanatory, but for us as raw vegans, we need more layers. We might need maybe 2 more layers than other people, and that is completely okay. Even when you're indoors, you might need more layers. One thing you must know about a raw vegan diet is that you're going to be cold. Yes, I am wearing a jacket at home. I've worn a jacket at home since about September, October last year. I'm very cold as a vegan overall. Think scarves, think socks, think thermals, hats, fleeces, anything that will keep you warm. And you know how many layers you need to stay warm. When you're a raw vegan, your digestion is very quick. You digest food within 1 to 2 hours and then it's out of you within the 3rd hour. Now, for other people who are on processed diets, animal diets, their digestion is constantly working throughout the day and throughout the night. So digestion creates a lot of heat in the body, and this is one of the things that keep people on a processed diet or on an animal consumption diet very, very warm. And you find that these people are more likely to sweat in a room than you are. You're naturally colder because your insides, your internal systems are not overworking, and so that keeps you cooler throughout the day. We don't have that internal heat system that's keeping us extra warm. Plus the diet is very low in fat, so we don't tend to have those extra layers of fat on the body to keep us warm as well. A lot of raw vegans are pretty slim, and this might be your case as well. A lot of raw vegans don't tend to carry excess body fat, especially if you've been a raw vegan for a long time. So let me know if this is your case as well, if you feel that because of your low body fat percentage, you feel extra cold, not even just in the winter, throughout the whole year as well. I know I certainly do throughout the year. Your comfort is your responsibility. So when you go out of the house, make sure you bring an extra scarf if that's what you need. Make sure that you have your gloves packed for the evening if you know you're coming back late. Make sure there's an extra jumper with you as well. These are the things that are essential to your well-being, so you have to be able to provide that for yourself. So tip number 2 is use that extra heat. You guys know this is how I drink my water, but nowadays, because it's cold, I fill about half of it with normal water, cold water, and the rest is boiling water, which keeps the water very warm. You'll be able to see some steam, because this is hot water. This is not cold water. And so when I drink this, this heats my entire body. So whether I'm at home or outside of the house, I'm always drinking warm or hot water. No more cold water. That's only for the summer. Oh, and in case you're curious, these are mint leaves, which gives the water a really nice, fresh taste. Another thing that you'll need is a hot water bottle. So it really depends on the insulation of your house, but this house is not really well insulated. So I do take a hot water bottle around with me when we get into the thick of winter and it's freezing. Another thing is it's worth investing in a really good heater, something that heats the house, the room, if you don't have great insulation like I do. And depending on your situation, you can keep the heating on for most of the day. I think it's important to not be afraid of spending money when it comes to heating yourself or heating your home, heating up your body, and really taking care of yourself. Because if you're like me and your mood is really affected by cold temperatures, then it's a gift to offer yourself the heat, the warmth that you really deserve, that you really require. So I've got a little story to tell you around in the work, but last year, or no, not last year, was it last year? No, it was last year. Because I'm responsible in my house for paying the gas bills, last year I was really, really hesitant all day long to put on the heating. I just told my family, just put on extra layers. Just put on extra layers, it's fine, we don't need the heating on. As the winter months continued, I had to confront this mentality of not wanting to spend money on our collective comfort, on our collective ease. And some resistance for you might come up when you think about investing in a better heater or better installation for your home. This is resistance around abundance and around the flow of money. So it's really important to check in with yourself and really identify, is that the case for you as well? So when I shifted this resistance towards putting on the heating and realized that actually the money that I'm paying in the form of a bill serves other people, it continues the flow of money around the world, around the country, or even just around my home. So it's a mindset shift that's required for us to invest more on the things that we value. This is the same mindset that you have when you approach your raw vegan diet. You invest in better quality because you know it's going to serve you for the long run. By better quality, I'm talking about organic produce, I'm talking about locally sourced produce, I'm talking about the equipment that you need in the kitchen to make your smoothies or to make your sorbets or to make your ice creams or to make your soups or to make your juices. Whatever you need to provide a better raw vegan lifestyle for yourself, you have to start offering it to yourself, and that starts today. What helps me in the evening is to take a very, 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 very boiling shower before I go to bed. Now, I always shower before I go to bed, but in the summer, I might take a warm shower. And now in the winter, I always take a steaming hot shower. That heats up my skin. And so by the time I get into my covers, into my bed, this heats up my entire bed. And so I'm toasty throughout the night. And don't be afraid as well to wear extra layers to bed if you need to. I always wear a onesie in the middle of winter. It's warm, it's cozy, it's what I need. And sometimes I might even put an extra bathrobe on top because I need to be extra warm. And as you do the things that are going to help you stay warm, we don't want to talk about the struggle of how cold it is or how hard it is. We want to talk about the possibilities, how good we feel, how great it feels to drink this warm cup of mint water, or how good I feel with my hot water bottle, knowing how convenient it is for me at any time of the day. I can fill it up with hot water and I'm warm. Tip number 3 is have warm drinks. So all things cold, forget your cold water, forget your cold iced tea, forget your cold, anything to do with cold, we're not drinking it, okay? Definitely want to stick to your hot water, your infused teas, your homemade remedies, or you can have teas, peppermint tea, rosemary tea, whatever tea you can think of. Hot drinks like coffee, green tea, black tea, these are all diuretics, and so they cause you to urinate, and this can lead to dehydration. You want to limit those as much as you can and favor teas like peppermint, rosebush, rosemary, or your own hot water infusions. I personally love creating my own teas. So I'd have sliced lemon with some sliced ginger and some mint, or I'd put some cloves in and add a tiny bit of syrup to it to give it a warm, cozy taste. And there you are. That's the best tea. It's homemade, it's clean, it's easy to make, and it tastes really, really good. It's really important to stay hydrated throughout the winter months. A lot of people choose hot drinks, and because of that, they're not choosing water. So they're more dehydrated throughout the winter, as opposed to in the summer when you're so hot, you need the water to cool you down. And so it's easy to reach for a glass of water. If you're going to have tea with milk, opt for homemade tea, just because the plant milks that you get from the store often have anti-caking agencies, gums, and other ingredients that are highly processed, which don't add life and a lot of goodness to your raw vegan journey. If you can make your milk at home, you can simply blend your nuts with water. You can use your juicer if necessary, or you can have any sort of seed mixed with water to make a really delicious and nutritious homemade milk. And that is a perfect milk to add to your homemade tea. The best form of hydration comes straight from water or coconut water. So if you were going to have a hot drink like black tea, coffee, green tea, be sure to have your coconut water or your regular water alongside it as well. The fourth tip is to make time for some sunshine. That beautifully rhymes. So our mood is impacted by the weather, by the sun, and so we need the sunlight. So even if it is super cold outside, make an effort to go for a walk or to go for a cycle, to sit in the garden for some sunshine, because we need it. It feeds us and we need it to boost our mood, and we need it to maintain our vitamin D production throughout the winter months. I know it's so easy to stay trapped inside, especially when the weather is harsh, and it feels cozy, it feels easy. It's easier to work from home, or it's easier to stay on the sofa, it's easier to stay in bed. There's no desire to get up and put on so many layers to venture out. But we have to fight that resistance and know that we're honoring our body, we're looking after our body in a very challenging way, but we're still looking after our body when we make time for the sunshine. And closely linked is the green of nature. Nature feeds us, nature feeds our soul. So we need to spend some time out in the trees with the plants and get some of that green on us. The green of nature is proven to reduce stress and anxiety, and these are two things that tend to go up in the winter months because of our lack of contact with nature. One thing that you might consider is treating yourself to some new houseplants. The green is going to be really good for your mood, for your energy, for your positivity every single day. And if you can't manage to go outside, having a lot of green in your home can be a good alternative. The green will fill your spirit. You have to water that plant almost every single day. That process of looking after something else will give you joy. And when you see it grow, despite the cold weather outside, that's going to fill you up in a really lovely way. Don't feel guilty. If you have to have a cooked meal, or if you're not fully raw vegan, that's completely okay. The last thing you want to do is feel guilty, feel shame, feel judgment towards yourself for something that suits you, something that's in alignment with who you are and what you need. I say it often in my videos, but not everybody needs to be raw vegan. Not everybody wants to be a raw vegan, and that's completely okay. The most important thing that you can do is choose yourself. Choose the version of life that's in alignment with who you want to be, who you feel called to be. That is the most important thing that you can do. So if you're going to have a cooked meal, you better enjoy that cooked meal. If you're going to have a cooked day, you better enjoy the cooked food that you make as well. There's already a lot of shame that we're dealing with just because we're alive, just because we're human beings. So you don't want to add extra shame and extra weight and extra guilt to your life. You're already doing a lot of inner work, you're already doing a lot of releasing, you're already doing a lot of healing, and that is excellent work. So don't burst your own bubble. You don't want to take away from that by feeling guilty when you have a cooked meal. And the last tip is to think abundantly. So I can definitely admit that in the last 2 years, I was a negative Nancy when it came to the cold weather. I was complaining a lot. I was complaining about how hard it is as a raw vegan to endure the cold weather, how unfair it felt that other people in the globe were enjoying summer and the tropical weather, and I was stuck with the grey weather of London and not feeling my best. I love waking up and seeing the sun from my window. I love knowing that the sun is going to set at 9 p.m. in the evening. And I love wearing t-shirts and I love wearing shorts. And so I felt like I was deprived of that for much of the year because the weather in the UK is really turbulent and very cold for most of the year. But because of my inner work over the last couple of months, I've shifted my perspective a lot towards finding joy and finding gratitude for all things rather than complaining, rather than focusing on what I don't like. It can be quite challenging to do this, to think abundantly, but it is a mindset shift that will help you in other areas of your life. So when I am feeling cold, I just think about, oh, how good it would be to get my hot water bottle out, or how good it would feel to wear another layer of clothing to heat myself up, to heat up my body. And I think there's a lesson in all things. There's always a way to have more joy, to be more kind, or to be more grateful. So the moment you find that you're complaining about something, that you're resisting something, this is an opportunity to grow and expand and level up and let go of the old identity. Why are we complaining? What is there to complain about? And how can we shift that into joy, into gratitude, into something more godly, into something that is in alignment with what the universe wants for all of us? And thinking abundantly is a new skill for a lot of us. And sometimes we've been thinking abundantly in one area, but not necessarily in another area. So you have to keep coming back to this new mindset, this new way of seeing, this new vision of gratitude that you have, not just for the things that you're confident in, but in other areas of your life as well, in small things and big things. So as always, if you want more guidance with this and want to work with me one-to-one, be sure to check out the first link in the description. I love helping you guys. I love inspiring you along the way. So if you need my help and you really want that push to transform your life on your raw vegan journey, check out the link in the description below. That brings us to the end of this video. Let me know what else you guys are doing to stay warm, to stay motivated throughout the cold months. If you do eat a cooked meal, or if you don't, what are your tips? How do you stay energized through the winter months? Thank you guys always for watching. Have a wonderful week. Stay warm. And until the next one, stay fine, stay fierce, and stay joyfully fruitful. Ciao.